In the long run, all inputs are variable. Since in the long run there are no fixed costs, when a firm shuts down, their costs become zero. We assume that in perfect competition, there is relatively easy entry and exit into the market. In the market, there are many suppliers and buyers. In the corn market depicted here, all suppliers produce an identical product. Here, the market price of corn is $4 a bushel. Each firm is a price taker, so each firm takes the market prices given and maximizes profit by producing a quantity where P equals marginal cost. Since price also equals average cost, each profit-maximizing firm earns zero economic profit. This implies that each firm is doing just as well as their next best alternative. When firms in the industry are earning zero economic profit, there is no incentive to enter or exit the market. Now suppose that there is an increase in demand for beef, which leads to an increase in the demand for corn, which is used as a feed for cattle. This increase in demand for corn leads to an increase in the price of corn from $4 to $6 a bushel. Since price is greater than average cost, each firm is now earning a positive economic profit. A positive economic profit implies that corn farmers are now doing better than their next best alternative. Since corn is an annual crop, farmers often have the option to choose between planting corn or wheat or soy or other annual crops. Since corn farmers are earning positive economic profit, this implies that corn will be more profitable than these alternatives like wheat and soy. So the positive economic profit will attract entry. More farmers will plant corn. Graphically, we show the entry by the short-run market supply curve shifting right. This entry will continue as long as corn farmers are earning positive economic profit. In other words, the short-run market supply curve continues to shift right until price equals average cost. When price equals average cost again, profit is once again equal to zero, and firms no longer have a desire to enter or exit. This example illustrates how in the long run, entry and exit drive firm profits to zero. Thus, the long-run competitive equilibrium is price equals the minimum of long-run average cost. When price equals long-run average cost, profits are equal to zero, and the market is in equilibrium because firms no longer desire to enter or exit the market. In this example, as the industry changed size as firms entered the market, the cost of inputs did not change. When costs do not change with entry and exit, we call the industry a constant cost industry. In a constant cost industry, the long-run supply curve is horizontal. When demand increased, the price increased to $6 in the short run, but in the long run, the price remained constant at $4. So in the long run, demand moved over a horizontal supply curve showing no change in the long-run price. Let's consider now an increasing cost industry. In an increasing cost industry, as firms enter the market, at least some input costs are bid up. This happens when the input market is relatively small compared to the size of the industry. For instance, if all corn farmers have to buy a certain type of tractor implement, and if tractor implements are relatively scarce, then as more farmers enter the market, the tractor implement prices will be bid up with the increase in demand. This increases the opportunity cost for all farmers. Here we start out in the long-run competitive equilibrium with a price of $4. Since we are in long-run equilibrium, each firm is earning a zero economic profit. Once again, the industry experiences an increase in market demand, and price increases from $4 to $6. At the higher price, firms are earning a positive economic profit, which attracts entry. As firms enter the market, the supply curve shifts right. Also, since this is an increasing cost industry, firm costs increase. Again, this could be due to each corn farmer having to purchase new implements for their tractors, which drives up the price of this type of capital for all farmers. So as supply increases, driving price down, firm costs are increasing. Price meets average cost at $5. At a price of $5, the industry is once again in long-run competitive equilibrium. Now price equals average cost, so economic profit is zero, and firms no longer have a desire to enter or exit the industry. For the increasing cost industry, the long-run industry supply curve is upward sloping. An upward sloping industry supply curve shows that as demand increases, price increases in the long run. For a decreasing cost industry, costs decrease as more firms enter the market. This happens because as the industry grows in size, the input market becomes more efficient. Here's an example. When farmers first started farming the Great Plains of the western United States, transportation costs to get the agricultural commodities that the farmers were raising to world markets were very high. However, as the farming industry on the Great Plains expanded, it became more profitable for the railroads to build more rail lines, decreasing transportation costs. So as the industry grew, costs decreased for individual farmers. The figure above shows a typical perfectly competitive wheat farm, whose marginal cost curve is MC and average total cost curve is ATC. The market is initially in long-run equilibrium where the price is $5 per bushel. Then the market demand for wheat decreases and, in the short run, the price falls to $3 per bushel. Wheat production is a constant cost industry. In the new short-run equilibrium, the farm produces blank bushels of wheat and sells wheat at blank per bushel. Please take a minute and solve this problem. When the price drops to $3, the firm will produce where price equals marginal cost. We can see that the firm will not shut down in the short run because price is covering the firm's variable costs. So here we have the same scenario, but here the question is, in the long run, the price of wheat is blank and a typical farm produces blank bushels of wheat. Please take a minute and solve this problem. At a price of $3, price is less than average cost, which implies that economic profit is negative. Since at a price of $3, firm profit is less than zero, in the long run, firms will begin exiting the industry. Exit will drive price back up until price equals average cost again. Since this is a constant cost industry, the long-run equilibrium price will be $5. Assuming a decreasing cost industry, when demand increases in a perfectly competitive market, in the long run the price of the product blank, the initial price, and the quantity blank. The answer to this problem is illustrated by this graph. As demand increases, price is driven down and quantity increases. Again, this is likely to happen if when the industry expands, one of its input markets becomes more efficient.